I'm going to quickly demonstrate using the app for a recommended nutrient mix to get a hydroponic dill plant up and running. First, we're going to set up our defaults. Reverse osmosis is best for hydroponics. However, you can use tap water or a custom source providing a measurement using a TDS meter, and the guidance service will compensate. Next, we'll choose what nutrients we're using. We've got settings for general hydroponics and advanced nutrients pH perfect, and we'll be adding more shortly. However, you can also create custom nutrient sets, and we'll use that data for community-driven options. I like to start seedlings in a small bubbler, a deep water culture style of hydroponics, which is basically just a container with holes cut in the lid for net pots and an air pump and stone for aeration. If you're using our hydro starter, we've got presets. However, I'll walk through this one as a custom setup. I like to use a standard 8-cup or half-gallon jug for my fills, and I'm also going to use that as my full line for this planter, and then just dump it and refill it every couple weeks for about a month until I've got roots long enough to transplant into something bigger like a hydro planter. If you want to take easy measurements, you can mark a full 100% line by adding a jug of water, and then I also put a mark around the middle point for 50% and a couple more for 25 and 75 cent-ish. Now I'm going to create this planter in the app, along with a dill plant, so our nutrient recommendation engine knows what plant we're working with. From the garden screen, or get started, I'm going to choose to add a planter. For the planter type, I'm going with custom. The hydroponic type is deep water culture, and it can support up to 3 plants. This one's so small, I'm going to just forgo the minimum level and had decided on a half-gallon or 8-cup reservoir size. Additionally, I wanted to make my mixtures in a standard 8-cup jug, so I'm going to set my fill factor to that. Next, from the garden screen, I'm going to use the fab to create a dill plant and add it to the new planter via a transplant. This lets our nutrient guidance service know what we're dealing with. If I were to add more than one plant to a planter, then it will do its best to come up with a mix to satisfy all of them. But in a case such as a tomato and lettuce, the lowest common denominator wins. In that example, lettuce can't handle nearly as strong of nutrients as the tomato plant. To see what to add to the reservoir, I'll scroll down and click the fill button. There's some details on the intro screen, but like everyone else, I'll just scroll past this and choose not to show again. The next screen provides multiple choices for your nutrient mixture. Recommended being based off of vendor-supplied feed charts, adjusted to target the concentration required for the plant. If you supply a measurement for your water or existing contents of our reservoir, those numbers are taken into account for dilution. Now I'm going to mix that up and add it to my planter prior to transplanting my germinated dill plant. I've clicked save in the app, so the record's in my history, and now I'm going to move on to actually transplanting this dill seedling. These dill seeds have been germinating in a damp paper towel for about a week now. I'm going to dip a rock wool cube into the solution and gently squeeze just a bit out of it so it's not soaked. The roots on these seeding are already pretty long, so I'm going to make a deeper hole in the cube. Next, I'll use some tweezers to carefully grab one of the seedlings and transfer it. I'm putting the rock wool cube into a net pot, and then I'm going to set up an air pump with a stone to get some bubbles going. These bubbles are going to pop at the surface of the water, keeping the rock wool damp but not soaked. I'll put it into some light and then come back to check on it in a couple weeks.